I'm not sure if Estonia is a pioneer, but something where Estonia is a good example that it can have both security and democracy online. And this is illustrated by the fact that Estonia is an active participant in international discussions on internet freedom and founding member of the Freedom Online Coalition, as well as Estonia was very high, came second after Iceland, I think, last year in the US think tank Freedom House reports, which analyzes rights and freedoms in public online space. Yet Estonia also takes cybersecurity very seriously. And for example, in the Global Cybersecurity Index, which is managed by the International Telecommunications Union, Estonia was third in the world and first in the European Union back in 2021. So this commitment to cyber capacity, but commitment to online freedom comes together. And this is where I think Estonia is a good example that you can have both. I think from 2007 attacks, what the Estonian society learned at large was that cybersecurity really is part of an overall security. You cannot have security in general without thinking and without understanding cybersecurity at the level of decision makers, as well as at the level of decision shapers or staffers. That is something that was clearly understood, and this understanding was illustrated by the fact that ever since 2007, Estonia adopted its very first cybersecurity strategy. It clearly understood that you need to have a central agency responsible for cybersecurity with a clear mandate, and also launch interagency cooperation. It's clear that malicious cyber attacks and cyber activity in general has substantially increased over the last 3 years, perhaps. First, it was across COVID, when the whole world, COVID pandemic, when the whole world moved online, and so did cybercrime. And then on top of that, during the Russia's war in Ukraine, where we have understood really that cyber attacks are not a separate front, but rather an extension of the conflict, where Russia has invested a lot of resources into the scale and sophistication of its cyber weapons, and having used Ukraine as a testing ground, really puts its skills in practice. So the whole sort of current kinetic conflict, or the war in Ukraine, has also definitely led to a disruption or chaos in Eastern European ransomware economy, as criminal ransomware cyber groups splinter, they take sides. We are seeing some groups disappear, new groups emerge, but one thing is certain: cyber attacks remain and they grow. The main challenge here is challenge that the transatlantic community as such faces is that a technology is to understand that there is a technology and norms battle between the like-minded countries and countries like Russia and China on the other front, and both Europe. That is perhaps, when you look at your question, EU, as well as NATO, and that is US, Europe, and other like-minded countries. They need to understand that we are on the same side of this battle, and we should all band together rather than discuss which side of the Atlantic is in lead. We should stick together and jointly reassert leadership in international standard-setting bodies such as the United Nations, the ITU, the International Telecommunications Union, and mutually develop and recognize each other's standards that relate to emerging technologies. I think it does. It signals, or some of the takeaways from this conflict include the understanding that that international law and attribution require more attention, that there is much more intelligence sharing among like-minded nations. This has been clear, and this is a lesson learned from Ukraine, that sharing intelligence is playing a major role in this war. It builds coalitions and can shine a light on Russia's disinformation campaign. And the role of the private sector has really been crucial in this war. So a lot of these elements come together when necessitating more EU-NATO cooperation.